you gotta buy it back. You gotta win it back. You have to take it back. What? Your life. Because somebody owns it. Somebody has jurisdiction over it. Some nefarious force is controlling it. Is pulling it, is pushing it, is draining it. When we get in tune with the universe, we become very aware that human energy is the most sought after resource in the cosmos. In actual fact, it's kind of like life force is the most sought after. But how many things want to prey on our flesh? How many people want to prey on the energy which emanates from our minds? How the world has become a propaganda machine, and everywhere we look, on the screens or in the cities, there's something flashing for your attention. Hey, over here, flash, flash. Maybe breasts or buttocks, or chocolate, or ice cream, or strawberries and cream. Hey, over here. Your energy. These signs, they're all sucking at your life force, drawing you in, draining you. And when you buy into it, you're at the mercy of them, until what happens is they drain you so much that you will feel exhausted. It's kind of hard to feel exhausted. And people say, well, why? What have you been doing? I haven't been doing anything. You know, I've not been drinking, I've been going out, I've been sleeping well, I'm just exhausted. Have you been watching the telly? Have you been listening to adverts on YouTube? Oh, have you been looking in your phone on Twitter, X or Facebook? Oh, don't you know they're parasites feeding on your life force? You have to take it back. Yeah, but how do I do that? You sever. You take yourself out of the city. They are the biggest hubs of draining, human draining, that you can possibly encounter. It's super intense in these human draining hubs. And so you have to extricate yourself from them. And then you no longer see it. I look around here now, there's nothing vying for my energy. There's no neon signs, there's no 20 by 10 pictures of ice creams and all that sort of thing. So I've become free of that. Then you don't use Twitter, X, Facebook, or any of those social medias. You do not use them. You do not get involved because they are parasitical and they will bleed you dry. What else? Block adverts on YouTube. Don't watch television. Absolutely do not watch television. Smash it to a billion pieces, or sell it for a few quid, or give it to a charity, give it to a muggle. They like those sort of things. Flat screen muggle portals. Trust in me, trust in me. Yeah, that's right. That's how you do it, people. And then what you do is, when you have some free time, you decide what you want to watch. You don't follow red bells. Turn your red bells off unless you're addicted to the Awake and Brave channel, of course, leave that one on, because I'm waking you up to being asleep. I'm trying to shake you from your somnambulism. So being addicted to the Awake and Brave channel is a good thing. So leave the red bell on. Ping! It's the Awake and Brave. Time to wake up from your dream. Yeah. For those of you that have to work, stop working. Stop slaving. Find another way. There are ways, you know. There are ways. Or do something for yourself. Look, these days, millions of people have found a very reasonable income from YouTube. You can sell anything on YouTube, and you can sell your soul if you like. Most people have done that. You can see how they've sold their souls, but you know, you can earn some revenue from selling wares, and you don't have to get involved with your own face being on it. You just sell stuff. Maybe you create stuff and then sell it. Or you can create businesses on eBay these days. Buying and selling, trading, trade on eBay. Once you find yourself a hobby, or you know a little bit about something, then you can trade on eBay. And I think that's a pretty cool job. I would even do that myself if I wanted any extra cash. Because you look around and there's loads of things that you can buy at a good price, and then you just sell them at a higher price. Or you buy things off eBay and then you sell them at a country fair or something like that. You know, for instance, I started to get a little bit of an addiction to antique door knockers. So I bought this letterbox. It cost me £45. It's an antique and it's solid brass, and it's all ornate and it's mysterious and it's wonderful. I saw it and I had to have it. Then I saw this little pixie sitting on a mushroom, and I just had to have that. Then I saw a big solid half moon sun. When I say half moon, it's kind of like it's a round, full face, smiley face, polished brass, solid, about that thick, but it's convex like that, and then flat at the back where the knocker is. I had to buy that. That was £20. The pixie knocker was like £7. Very, very reasonable when you look at, you know, these things being antiques and solid brass and the postage involved and all that sort of thing. And so I had to stop myself from going on those sites because I'd just buy them. And now I've got another addiction, and it's going to these charity shops and it's buying up big glass bowls or vases because I want to make terrariums out of them. And you know, you can get wonderful antique glass vases and things like that from these charity shops. And even if they're not antique per se, they're quality and they're for steel. You know, I've got some beautiful ones coming, very nice, £5 each. That's about the most you'll ever pay. Usually these things come for about £1 or £2. And so, I bought a long pair of tweezers, and I'm going to get involved in these terrariums because they're a wonderful thing. And once you've made them, and then you stick a piece of perspex on the top, because you can buy the circular pieces of perspex for less than £2 from the internet, and then you don't even need to water them or do anything for a whole month. You just have them sitting on your shelf or on your desk. Beautiful little ecosystems. Tiny little worlds. And so then I'm going to make my daughter a couple. I'm going to make a nice small one for her office desk, then I'll make a bigger one for her home, and I'll just keep making them until I can't find room for them anymore in my home. But you know, you could make a business of that, and then you could sell them locally at car boot sales or local fairs or through local advertising, whatever. There's lots of things we can do, you know, as opposed to selling our souls to the man. and having to be somewhere and do something that they tell us to do, and it's bullshit work and you can't stand it and it's draining your life force. Whereas at least working for yourself, doing something that you enjoy, it generates life force and enthusiasm, because when we are enthusiastic we are close to God. And that's why the root of enthusiasm, entheos, is the root of entheogens, which is another word for psychedelics. Entheogen means to be with God, in union with God. And when we are enthusiastic about something, we are with God and we are enjoying life. If you get out of bed every day and you're bouncing, come on, let's go, you're enthusiastic about life. And if you take a walk and you're enthusiastic about the natural environment, then you're in the kingdom of God. You see? Wow. When I discovered that, that was a revelation, that was. Because I'm always looking into the etiology of words and things like that, see the roots and that. And I was very surprised, because it never clicked that enthusiasm is deeply related to entheogens, and that root means in union with God. Wow! I went into a whole new dimension when I discovered that. And I felt the reality, the truth of it. Yes, truth, reality, inside the illusion. Yeah. True enough, people. I think anyone that's really searching for truth ultimately have to resign themselves that things are true enough. You can never find ultimate truth, really. And I was listening to a philosopher the other night, and he was speaking about math. Lots of philosophers would insist that math is an absolute truth. But this particular philosopher, Wittgenstein, he said it's not. It's only true if you believe in it, if you accept it. If you don't, it's not true. And that's what I've been saying, things like that for years. Truth is true to you if you accept something. You know, is it true that the sun is 93 million miles away? Not to me, it's not. I haven't got a clue even what million miles means. I've got no idea what that means. How could it possibly be true to me? It's just a nonsensical conglomerate of words. True. Is it true that I'm walking down this path? What is path? What is walking? What is true? And so by the time we dissect things like that in a deeply philosophical way, then everything is deeply questionable. Because we realise that we are creating this fiction of a reality from our construct of language. And so, look, it's not around for that long, you know, people. These incredible, beautiful expressions of life, the genius and the miracle, what it is. Most people would think this is a very, very mundane thing. This is just like a hawthorn hedge, and nothing very impressive about it at all. You've seen them 1,000 times before. But have you ever really seen them? Have you ever really seen them? Can you see those little bits of pink on the end of them stamens? Some of them have pink, most of them don't. Look here, there's one. It's got pink on it and the rest of them haven't. So they're not all pink and they're not all white. There's a conglomerate of them in there. Did you ever know that? Wow, the sun's out. Feels like about maybe 18 degrees. I've come out dressed entirely inappropriate for the weather. I've got my trousers on, shirt and a t-shirt. But when I come out of the gym, I'm going to have my vest on and my shorts. What's that? Someone's trying to rob your nest. Someone's trying to take over your hard labour Well, don't stand for it. Peck them. Flap them with your wings. Defend your territory. That's your hard labour you've put into that. Don't allow any taker just to come and take possession of it. What, you say? Thank you for your advice, Awakened One. Yes, that's okay. Anytime. When we think about the conversations birds have, look, tick, 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 tick. That sounds like a thrush. Stop now, because I'm obviously very close, but I can't see it. But I often wonder what they are speaking about, because they are speaking, people. They're not just spilling out a repertoire of sounds, they are communicating. And I know that they're communicating because they have many different sounds depending on the time of year. They have a winter dialogue or dialect, they have a spring one, they have a mating one, they have a summer one. You'll notice that after the first batch of young, which comes around in March and April, maybe May, come June, all the trees are almost silent, and you'll go, where are all the birds? They should be all tweet, 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 but they only tweet, tweet, tweet when they've got something to say, when they're communicating with each other. Otherwise, there's no point in tweeting, you see. Tweeting, there you go, there's a thing. There's no point in tweeting nonsense, people. Only tweet if you've got really something to say. So, yes, we noticed that at a certain stage in the summer, there is no songs coming from any of the birds. And we wonder why that is. And it's because they don't need to, because the mating's been done, they've reared their young, and now they're in between maybe the second batch. And then when they start that, then they'll start their tweeting again. You see? And then when it comes to the fall, there's a different sound of tweeting. And generally what the sound is, from what I can gather, in the fall and in the winter, it's a tweeting telling other birds where the resources are. They will tell other birds where there's a certain bush with certain berries and things like that. And that then alerts other birds to where the food source is. And then other birds will come. And if someone's throwing out some bread, then tweet, 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 tweet. You know, bread's over here in Mrs. Jones's garden. All right, guys? Cool. You see, they could keep it to themselves and be greedy. But if there's a lot of food and, you know, they can't eat it all, then I'm pretty sure that evolution has worked out that, well, it's a good advice to tell your mates, because if you tell them and word gets around that, you know, you share food, then that's gonna serve you as well, because it's better to have thousands of pairs of eyes rather than just your one, because you could look in all the wrong places and you could starve. It'll only take a couple of days if you can't find any food, and you'll starve. So it's best to listen to your mates to tell you where the food is. And when we start thinking like that, some people may think it preposterous, but it's only preposterous because it's so far flung from what you think the world is and what you've been told, that birds are just singing. Well, that's your interpretation. I don't think they're singing, to be fair. I think they're talking. They are communicating. They're saying something specific. And when we meditate in an environment where there's lots of birds, we can hear different intonations, and it's amazing the repertoire of these birds. They have a whole array of variety of song, so it sounds to me like they are actually saying different stuff. It isn't just tweet, 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 tweet. No. And if you listen to a robin Again, about 10 different sounds. If you listen to the tits, oh goodness me, they've got an enormous array of sounds. And so there's lots to be learned about all these things, people. And you'll never learn them while you're rushing around, working for the man, being bullied, manipulated, and having your life source drained. And, you know, some people will say, yeah, well, I've got this and I've got that. Well, that's just the lamentations of resignation, if you ask me. Yeah, well, what can I do about it? Oh, you can do a lot about it. If you use your imagination, you look what the human being's done with its imagination, a great deal of things. And so just start investigating what resources you've got, what varying platforms there are, how other people are earning money. What do you know? What else do you know? Do you have to go and work for the man in some boring, bullshit, drudgery, life-draining job? No, you don't. So, choices, people. You make some of your own. Because if you don't, somebody else will. Bye.